Good morning students, welcome to GC Tech Hub CS tutorials. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss how to insert records into a table in a database in SQL and also how to select or extract records from the database. So let's move on to today's class. So we will be seeing how to insert data. So the syntax of using the insert command in SQL is insert into table name, field 1, field 2, field 3 values. So as you can see over here, we have the table name, insert into, these two are keywords, followed by the table name, which is a user defined entity. That is, this is the name of the table which already exists. Remember, if your table doesn't exist, you won't be able to insert any data into it. And we have the fields over here. If suppose it is that you don't want to insert the data in all the fields, for example, for the time being you are creating a table based on hostel, that is which will be storing the records of the students of the people, the hostelers who are going to live in the hostel. So while they are seeking admission into the hostel administration wants to save all their data in a database, and for the time being only the hosteler ID and the hosteler names are required and no other information is required. So for that purpose, you need to insert data only in two fields. So you can specify those fields over here in this particular parenthesis, in this particular list, and after the keyword values, you can easily insert only the value for those two fields. So this is a selective insertion which you can do in your table. For example, insert into person's ID, last name, first name. These are the columns or the fields in which you are going to insert data. Values are 1, Amit and Raj. So 1 represents the ID, Amit represents last name, Raj represents first name. And insert into person's values 1, Amit, Raj, 19, Delhi, which means that you are inserting data for all the fields in a table, and hence you don't need to specify the field list over here. Let us create the following table and insert the records, and let's do this activity practically. So I am going to copy this table and paste it over here. And I am also going to open the MySQL command line client and notepad file. So please pay attention over here. So I'm going to go to start, and first of all I'm going to open my command line, MySQL command line client. Then I'm going to increase its font. So now it's somewhat suitable. First of all, let me use the use database command to set the database. Now I'll be able to perform all the operations. And firstly, I need to always, students, remember, you cannot insert data into a table until and unless the table is created. So here, first of all, I need to figure out which all data types should I fix for each of the fields. So I have the fields here: P code, P name, price, manufacturer. So for P code, you can see that the data is of this type: P1, P2, P3. So it is a textual data. So I can take care and 2 or 3 as the maximum length over here, or you can also take 2 over here, because in this table there are no more than 6 records. So I can take 2, because we know that char is a data type, it's a textual data type in SQL which takes up a fixed width, and hence we should try to stick to only those for char data type. We should try to use it on only those fields where the size of data would be fixed for all the tuples. Name is p, next is p name. So here we can take varchar, because you can see there is a lot of difference between the total number of characters for each tuple. So we can fix the maximum size as 25, and if suppose any particular data is very small like bike, so only 4 or 5 characters will be used, where 4 characters will be used for storing the 4 letters, the 4 alphabets of bike, and one byte or one character field should be used for storing control information, and rest of the 20 spaces can be used by the next tuple. Next is price. So we can set this as big int or medium int as according to our requirement. I think it can, even medium int can work over here. So I am taking medium int as the data type over here. And finally manufacturer, which is again to be taken as varchar. Now according to your requirement, you can easily apply constraints on the table, but it is my suggestion to you that when you have during your practical exam, avoid using constraints on the table. That way your work would be faster, and you would not have to worry about a lot many things, because constraints are limitations which are on applied on the table, and hence when we are in a hurry they might cause a delay in inserting data, because certain types of data might not be allowed. So avoid applying any type of constraints during your practical exam until and unless it is specified in the question. So now I am going to create this table. So for this, firstly we need to open Notepad. So I am going to press Ctrl R and type Notepad here. Always try to open Notepad, type all your SQL queries over here. I already had a file, Notepad file, which I had saved somewhere like SQL commands. So I am opening that, and you can see that all my previous SQL commands are already stored here. So you can have a for your exam, of course, you need a blank Notepad file, but for any other time, you can also use the same SQL commands. Please remember that you don't open an SQL command file during your practical exam, or otherwise you might be caught cheating, or you might be held back for cheating. So I'm going to type the command over here. So create table, name of the table, as you can see, it is fitness. So I am writing fitness. You can overlook the case when you are working with MySQL, because MySQL is case insensitive. So that won't cause any problems until and unless you stick to the same names. P code, and I'm taking this as char. P name, I'm taking this as varchar. Price as medium int, and finally manufacturer as varchar again. 25 is usually the ideal size for most fields, so you can stick to 25. Now this is the create table command, and together I will also create the insert command. So I have to insert records into the table. So insert into fitness, and for the time being, because this is already a table given to you and you have all the data, so we don't need to selectively insert data into few fields, rather we will be inserting data for all the fields. So insert into fitness values, and firstly it is, we can see P1, then second is P name treadmill, Now, students, remember that you already have this header row which has been created using the create table command. So kindly do not add the header row over here. Whatever we add into the insert command, it has to be the data which is being added, not the header row. You might have noticed that all the char, varchar and date time fields, that the data being inserted in such fields will always be enclosed within single quotes. So I have enclosed P1 and treadmill within single quotes, but because 21,000 is a numeric field, so I am not enclosing this within single quotes. Again, cost score is also data. It is also a textual field, so it has been enclosed within single quotes. So this completes your first insert statement. Now you have two choices. Either you put a semicolon and you create a new, or you copy the same insert table command and you change the data like this. T2, second is bike, third is 20,000, and third is, so now you can see that I have created separate such commands. I have created 6 such insert commands for inserting data into the table. There is also an alternative way for doing this, and that is insert into fitness values, and I am going to copy this first value over here. So instead of putting a semicolon at the end, I'll just put a comma and I will only copy the rest of the data in this way. That is, only the data part has to be inserted, separated by a comma every time. So this is how I can do. So these are two different methods which I can follow, either the first method or the second method. So the second method is a bit easier, and you have to type less over here because you have to write this insert into fitness values thing. This line has to be written only once, and only the data part has to be written after that. So first I'm going to create. So once you do this work, it means you are ready to go and you are ready to create the table. So just copy these lines. You can copy this whole thing together. So I'm copying this whole thing together over here till here because I have already typed this. So I'm going to copy this and come to your MySQL and just paste everything together. And you can see that one by one, once you paste everything over here one by one, table is also created and records are also inserted. You can see your records by using the select command, select asterisk from table name. So the table is fitness. So now you can see that your table has been created. So this is a very easy way of creating a table because it is hassle free. If you want, you can make some changes. You can edit your commands over here in Notepad and you can paste it over there. And you also have a record of all the commands which you can save in a file. So kindly follow this method to create your tables in the exam. Once this table has been created, now we would be having extracting data from database. That is, once tables have been created, we have to extract the records from our tables. So the where clause is used for doing this, that is for filtering records. A very important part of your SQL is it provides a very powerful select clause in order to get select as well as where clause, which is used to filter the records. So I missed on one point there. Firstly, extraction of records can be done using the very powerful select clause, which is used to read the data from the database and display it on the screen. And we have the where clause, which is used to filter the records according to a given condition. This condition is also known as criteria. It is also known as predicate. So we can filter the records which we want. That is, it is not necessary that from a table I want all the records every time. I might be needing only a few records which to be extracted from the table based on a given condition or criteria or a predicate. So we will be seeing that now. The where clause is used to extract only those records that fulfill a specified condition, like select column 1, column 2, that is the field names will be specified over here, from table name, that is from which table are we extracting the data, and where condition, that is the predicate. So you can see select, from and where, these three are the three keywords, and these three could be any user defined name. I have a demo database table named customer over here, where you can see the fields here: customer ID, customer name, contact name, address, city, postal code, and country. The following SQL statement selects all the customers from the country Mexico in the customers table. Select asterisk from customers where country equals Mexico. So you can see over here that if I want all the names of all the customers who work in Mexico, who are from Mexico, so this particular select query which I showed you, it will fetch these two records from the table. Conditions used in where clause: equals, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and not equal to. So here there is only a slight difference from Python, that is in equals over here we need only single equal to. Please remember that in MySQL the single equal to is used for assignment operations also, as well as for checking equality. Whereas in Python it is a bit different. Assignment you have the single equal to, and checking equality you have the double equal to. But please do not confuse MySQL with Python. And one more thing has to be kept in mind, that is there is a not equal to sign also over here. So it is represented by two angular brackets which are placed facing each other, unlike this symbol which is used in Python. So the task of both is the same. Now we have a sample table here named empinfo, where this is the header row, first, last, that is first name, last name, ID, age, city, and state. Let's solve some questions using where clause on this. Display first name, last name, and city. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to create this table in MySQL, and then I would get back. As you can see, I have created the table structure as well as I have created the insert table query. So I'm going to select this entire thing. We are creating this table over here, that is empinfo. So I'm going to paste everything, and you can see that the table has been created and records are also inserted. I'll be displaying the table. So select asterisk from empinfo. So whenever you need to perform any select query, it is very important that the table is created and records are inserted. Now the first question, display first name, last name, and city. So how to do that? For this also, it's better that all the queries are to be typed well in advance in your notepad file. So the first one is display first name, last name and city only. That means we only need to display the values for all the tuples only for three fields which are provided. So it would be select name of the column or the field we have to specify, that is first, last, comma, city. As in the table you can see that first, last and city, these are the fields for first name, last name and city. So only this has to be specified from table name. So let me first explain this to you. These three are the fields which are specified, and this is the table name. Now this is a project operation, that is we are only extracting a vertical subset from the table. That is three columns are extracted. We only want to display the values for the three fields, not all the fields, but all the tuples have to be displayed. All the tuples have to be selected. So that is the reason why there is no filtering in this particular clause, because they have specified that they want to see all the record values only for these three fields. So we have already typed the query over here. Now we will copy it from here and we will paste it in MySQL. Now it's not something that if it is a mandatory thing which you have to do. This is only this thing I'm only telling you, or this is just an advice, or this is just for the sake of convenience, because most students, they are not very well versed with MySQL, and hence they might commit trial and error. You might commit certain errors while typing even a simple SQL command. So it is advisable that if your expertise level, if you are a beginner, then you should start with a notepad file separately, and once you become a bit I mean once you become well versed with MySQL, you can slowly quit having this notepad file, and you can directly type your commands in MySQL. So it depends upon one's expertise level, how one can manage writing the commands. Let's go to the next one. Display last name, city and age of those employees who are more than 30 years old. So you can see over here that now not only we have to display the values of three fields, but also there is a filter option given, that is we only want to display the values for those employees who are 30 years old, more than 30 years old, that is 30 and that is 31 and higher. So how will we write it? Select last name, city and age. So select last, city, comma, age from table name, that is empinfo, where age is greater than 30. So this is the command which I have written over here. So we'll select this command and paste it in MySQL, and you can see we get the result over here. So this is how we need to extract. This is known as extracting records from the database. Next is display first name, last name, city and state of those employees whose first name starts with J. So here we have a pattern matching question. So how to use a pattern matching question? So for that purpose, although we will be discussing it later, but I'll still tell you, we have to display first name, last name, city and state. So firstly, I will write select first, last, city, comma, state from empinfo, where. Now where first name starts with J. So where first, and here it could be any name which starts with J. So I will be using the like clause over here, like keyword, which is used for pattern matching. and it starts with J. Capital J has been specified, so I am specifying capital J, and after J it could be any number of characters. So for that I am specifying a percentage sign, which is a wildcard character which is used for specifying that this wildcard character represents any number of characters, zero or more occurrences of any number of characters. So I'm going to select this and paste it here, and you can see that we have only one person with the name which starts with J, that is Jones. Last name ends in S. So the same thing I will copy the same. Now you can see I didn't have to type anything. I simply copied it, and here the condition is last name ends in S. So I will be writing it like this, where last, like, ends in S, that means S should be at the end, and before that we can have any number of characters. So we will copy this and we will paste it in this, and you can see here last names are ending with S, whose last name contains Ilya. So the thing is, now last name contains Ilya means Ilya should be a substring. So in the beginning as well as in the end of it, we shall be using a percentage sign to specify that there could be any number of characters before Ilya and any number of characters after Ilya. So I will write here, I will just copy this and paste it here, and I will just specify this like this. So the last name ends. So last name like, and let us copy this and paste it, and you can see that we get this Ilya word over here in Williams as last name. Display the employees whose first name is Eric. So now it is, we have to display all those employees whose first names are exactly Eric. So I'll write select the employees. So I'm only specifying first from empinfo, where first equals Eric. Let us copy this and paste it, and you can find only one record over here. Display the first name and age for everyone that's in the table. So again we need to display. Now you can see that we have been creating these. So I'll be writing first name and age that's in the table. So select first age from empinfo, and these are first name and the ages for everyone. Display first name, last name and city for everyone that's not from Payson. So over here Payson is, what is Payson? So we need to first check out what is Payson. So you can see over here Payson is the name of the city. So we need to display the records only for those employees who don't belong to Payson. So what do we need to display? First name, last name and city. From empinfo, where city is not equal to Payson. And you can see all the cities are there, only Payson is missing. Display all columns for everyone that is over 40 years old. So now we have to display all the columns. So for that we will be writing select asterisk from empinfo, where it is for those people who are over 40 years, so age greater than 40, and let us display this, and you can see it is all those people who are above 40 years of age. Display the first and last names for everyone whose name ends in an AY. That is, you have to display first name and last name for those employees whose last names end in AY. So when we say end in AY, it means AY should be in the end, and in the beginning there could be any number of characters. So this will be our regular expression over here. So let's write that. Select first comma last from impinfo, where last like AY. We select it, we paste it, and we get these two. That is Gray and Gus, Gray and Mary and me. Display all columns for everyone whose first name equals Mary. So I'm going to type this directly over here, because as you can see that once you become quite familiar with this and you get the hang of it, you can easily directly type your commands in the command line client. So I'm going to type it here. Display all columns for everyone whose first name equals Mary. So I'm writing here, select all columns from mpinfo where first name equals Mary. So here goes, and we have only one record in the table. Display all columns whose first name contains Mary. So for this it will be, if now in MySQL there is a very nice feature, that is, if you want to make a few changes in the previously executed query, you can simply press the up arrow key on your keyboard to access the previous command. And here we can, if the cursor is on the same line, we can easily make changes here. Like I'll be writing here, first name contains Mary. So you can easily see first name contains Mary. That means Mary will be a substring within the name. So like and percentage Mary, and then again percentage and enter. And you can see there are two people. One is Mary with no middle name over here, because this percentage symbol also specifies 0 or more occurrences of any number of characters. And you find two other names, Mary Ann Edwards and Mary Ann Me. So with this, I end today's class, students. I hope you might have understood insert query, insert clause and where clause, insert clause, select and where clause, and also pattern matching using like keyword. So please practice more examples of this type, and also follow the tips which I have given you, that is maintaining a notepad file alongside your command line client. That would help you to organize your work and also to save your queries as well as outputs. Thank you.